Alright guys, welcome back to another Dead by Discussions video. Yes, I'm bringing these videos back because I wanted to, and I actually had fun making the last video with the Invocation Weaving Spiders. So, for today's Dead by Discussions video, I wanted to talk to you guys about one thing I would change to every killer in Dead by Daylight. Now, two things I want to say before we get into this is, one, this is all just my opinion, and two, some of these changes will either be full reworks, little tiny tweaks, or they'll just be add-on changes. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, we got our boy McMillan. Man, right here, we got our boy McMillan. We got ourselves Trapper right here. One thing I'd change to Trapper, easy. Just give him all his traps at the start of the game. Seriously, I don't know why Trapper has to spend his time walking around just to pick up his traps. Just let him start with all his traps at the start of the game. It's so infuriating. Next up, we've got Wraith. Now, I had to think about this one because Wraith is kind of like a balanced killer, but if there's one thing I've noticed Wraiths do a lot, they always run the Shadow Dance add-ons, me and myself included. So I would just make Shadow Dance partially base kit. I just give him like a 10% increase of kicking pallets, walls, gens. I just let him give him like a base kit, brutal strength. Do you know what I mean? While he's cloaked, obviously. But that's what I'd do to Wraith. Next up, we got our boy the Hillbilly. This one's easy. I don't know why the hell Behavior did this, but I would make his turn rate add-ons yellow and brown rarity again. I don't know why they made his turn rate add-ons green and purple. If anyone can explain that to me, please do. But the fact that they made Hillbilly's add-on, like his boot add-ons, Dad's boots and spiked boots, green and purple rarity, I don't know why. Just make those add-ons yellow and brown rarity again, because that's ludicrous in my opinion. Alright, next, we got Nurse. Now, Nurse, I had to think about this one because I don't like going against it that much, and if you've seen the videos I made on Nurse when I'm doing, like, the wall hack builds, then you'll know that I've had a lot of fun doing them, but at the same time, I really haven't because I don't like playing Nurse that much. But there was one comment that someone left on one of those videos I made, which was they would give Nurse blindness debuff when she is charging up a blink, so that way she can't abuse the aura reading perks that much. And you know what? I agree. I think Nurse, when she's holding up her hands and she's charging a blink, she gets blindness, so she can't like fully abuse aura reading perks that well. She could still benefit from them from, like, you know, when she's like chasing normally and when she's looking around, like with barbecue and chili. But when she's, like, you know, holding a blink, she can't, you know, abuse them too hard. Next up, we got Huntress. This one's an easy one. Delete Iridescent Head, or just rework it. I don't know how you do it, but Iridescent Head it's still, to this day, one of the most unfun add-ons to go against in this game, because if you're out in the open, I mean, yeah, you can try and juke and dodge the hatchet, but if the Huntress is good, they're not going to miss. They are not going to miss by any circumstances, so please, just rework Iridescent Head to something else. I've heard some people say that it should insta-down if you get, like, a cross-map hit, if you get a long-ranged hit, which I think it would be okay. It wouldn't be too fun to go against, but it would be better than, you know, what it is now. So maybe that would be a good change for Iridescent Head, but I don't know. Just rework it somehow. I don't care. Just please. It's so unfun to go against. Next up, we got my boy Daddy Myers, and, well, not really Daddy Myers because I don't like going against him anymore. And if I had to change anything on Myers, I would just delete Tombstone. Both of them anyway, just rework Tombstone to something else, because both of them are not that fun to go against. And rework Evil Incarnate's achievements. Like, that's the only reason some people run the pink Tombstone add-on, is just to get that achievement. And the purple one, it's just, it's horrid. It's so horrid to go against. So yeah, that's all I do to Myers, is just rework Tombstone Piece and rework Judith's Tombstone, because they're just not healthy for this game. Not healthy at all. Next up, we've got Hag. Now, this one, I had to think about Hag, because I don't play her that much, and I don't like going against her that much. But if there's one thing I would change to Hag, it would be make Rusty Shackles a pink add-on. Honestly, Rusty Shackles is her best add-on. No one can convince me otherwise. I think it's better than Mint Rag. But man, I don't know why it's not a pink add-on. I would rework well, I wouldn't rework Rusty Shackles. I think it's okay. It's a okay add-on for Hag. I think it's worthy enough of being an add-on for Hag, but it shouldn't be purple. It should be pink, in my opinion. I would make Waterlogged Shoe a purple add-on, and I would make Rusty Shackles a pink add-on. Next up, we got the Doctor. Now, this one is, again, another easy one. I would delete the scrap tape. You know that one add-on that Doctor has where it turns his, like, shock radius into, like, a ring? I would delete that add-on and bring back the obedience add-ons. If you guys don't remember, the Doctor used to have a add-on. I think it was a green and a purple add-on called Obedience, which would make survivors take longer to snap out of it. That add-on I thought was pretty interesting for Doctor, and it would also give survivors exhaustion. I would rework the add-ons to not give them exhaustion, but I would make it so they would scream more frequently when they're in, like, Madness Tier 3. Or make them scream in Madness Tier 2. I don't know. Just delete scrap tape and bring back Obedience, because it would be interesting. Oh, man. We've got Bubba now. I friggin' love Bubba. I think the buff that they did to Bubba is like one of the best buffs they've done to any killer. If I had to change one thing though about Bubba, it would be I would just rework a couple of his add-ons. Like, who's running shop lubricants? Who's running the grease? Who's running that one yellow add-on that makes it so it doesn't take longer to go into tantrum? You know what I mean? Well, while he's revving, at least. Because the only set of add-ons people use for Bubba are the chili add-ons, the add-ons that increases movement speed, and the recharge add-ons. Those are the only add-ons people use. Oh, and iridescent flesh. Aside from that, most of his add-ons are kind of crap. I mean, I don't know what Light Chalice does. Well, I know what Light Chalice does. It's just, I don't think it's that good, just revealing auras while you're revving. The chain add-ons, they're kind of bad. Makes survivors broken, drops survivors items, gives them mangled when you get chainsaw hit. I don't know. I think they're kind of crap. I just rework a couple of his add-ons because people use the same add-ons over and over again, and you know, shake it up a bit. Just tweak a couple of his add-ons because they're kind of useless. Next up, we have Freddy. Now, Freddy recently did get a rework, and I think the rework is pretty decent for the most part. But if there's one thing that does bother me about new Freddy, it's his dream palettes. Now, I think the one BS thing that Freddy can do, and this happens on Gideon Meat Plants, is where you set a dream palette on like a low elevation, and then you have like a survivor on the top floor. So you have a dream palette bottom floor, survivor top floor. You activate the dream palette to rupture, and that survivor on top gets injured or goes down. It happens, I think it happens on like if the pallet is on the top floor and survivors on the bottom floor as well. That happens. I don't think that should happen. I really do not think that should happen. That should never, in a situation, that should not happen. I would make it so dream pallets don't affect survivors if they're on like a high or a low elevation. So yeah, just that one little change I would change to Freddy. But aside from that, I do think his rework's kind of cool. I like trying to dodge the dream snares, but his pallets, I think, are a little bit situational. Alright, next up, we've got the pig. Now, the one thing I would change to pig, and this might be a bit of a hot take or might be a bit controversial, I would make it so when the pig uses her ambush and she's at a dropped pallet, she breaks the pallet. I think that would make her ambush a bit more lethal in chase. I mean, the only add-ons I see people use for pig, well, when it comes to the ambushing, is Last Will and the Workshop Grease, I think it's called. Those two yellow add-ons. And those add-ons are very good on pig. They really are. But aside from those add-ons, her chase doesn't really do that much. I would just make her chase, like her ambush, just destroy dropped pallets, because that would give her a bit more lethality, and that would make her a bit more of a pallet destroyer, like Hillbilly and Bubba. So yeah, I just make it so her ambush can destroy dropped pallets and even destroy breakable walls. Alright, next up we got Clown. Now this one is super easy. Delete Redhead Pinky Finger or just rework that add-on somehow. It's such a good camping tool, just like Iridescent Head. It's so good for camping survivors. Like, as soon as you hook someone, you camp them, someone goes for the save, you throw the bottle at them, they're exposed, down, rinse and repeat. It's awful. Just rework Redhead's Pinky Finger somehow. That's like the one add-on. Well, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of going against Clown anyway. I don't really like going against them. But that one add-on makes Clown even more insufferable, and I don't like that. Please, just rework that add-on. Alright, next up, we got my girl, Rin Yamaoka, the Spirit. Just change her high rarity add-ons. Her brown and yellow add-ons are fine. I think they are perfectly okay. But her green add-ons, minus Rusty Flute. Rusty Flute is really good, but her other green add-ons are crap. Purple add-ons, Dried Cherry Blossom is still really good, but aside from that, the other purple add-ons are crap. Mother-Daughter Ring is still good, but the pink teacup add-on, it's really not that good in my opinion. I don't really like it. Why would you want to run that add-on when you can run Rusty Flute instead? Rusty Flute is just 10 times better than it. So I would just change her high rarity add-ons. Honestly, they're so bad. But her brown and yellow add-ons, I think, are perfectly fine. So leave those add-ons alone for Spirit. Now, Legion is... Oh, Legion was a bit tough to think about because I think they're okay. Well, they are weak. Legion are really, really weak. But at the same time, I don't know how you would rework them. So I guess the one change I would make to Legion is... There's one add-on that I've seen most Legions run, and it's the Mural Sketch add-on. And what that add-on does is it just makes them more faster in Frenzy when they stab people. I would just make that add-on base kit, not even partially base kit, just base kit, because every Legion player runs that add-on. It's like one of the best add-ons. Like, seriously, I've said this for a while. I don't understand Behavior's thought process when it comes to add-ons, because sometimes, like, for other killers, with other killers, sometimes their brown add-ons or their yellow add-ons are just their best add-ons. And I think Mural Sketch for Legion is like their best add-on. I mean, I know Iridescent Button exists, but I would just make Mural Sketch base kit, because it's like the best add-on, and it's really, really good. Alright, next we got Vommy Mommy herself, the Plague. If there's one thing I would change to Plague, it would be fix her RNG on her fountains. Like, sometimes it's so map dependent with Plague. Like, you'll have times where fountains spawn in like corners of the map. It happens on Swamp. You'll just have a red fountain in like a corner of the map, and you just physically cannot get to that place. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I don't understand why chests override fountain spawns. Like, I've seen some Plagues run coin offerings just so they can get their fountains closer to, you know, generator spawns, or like, yeah, it's just, I think fountains should override chests and just spawn closer to generators, because it's so bad. It is so bad having to walk around just go into a place you don't need to go just to get your red puke. Just fix our RNG on the fountains, or just make fountains override chest spawns, because it's so bad. It's so bad. Alright, now we got Ghostface. Now, I think one change I would make to Ghostface is if he stalks you, but then he doesn't stalk you anymore, like if he 99s you, I think the stalk meter should start depleting like 10 seconds, between 5 or 10 seconds if he's not stalking you. Like, he starts stalking you, he 99s you, 10 seconds later, if he doesn't start stalking you, the meter should just go down. That would make Ghostface more tolerable to go against, because I'm not really that much of a fan going against Ghostface. I used to be, but now he's kind of just gone downhill a little bit. So yeah, I would just make his stalk meter deplete if he 99s you, or if he stalks you and then he stops stalking you. But yeah, or maybe just make it so where if he stalks you like past the halfway point, then it starts depleting and it stops at like the halfway point of the stalk meter. Just something like that. Alright, next up, Demogorgon. This one's a bloody easy one, and I don't know why they've done this. Fix the collision with Demo Shred and make him be able to fly off high elevation. It happens on Garden of Joy. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware. If you're on like the roof on Garden of Joy and you go to Shred off, you just hit an invisible wall. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing for Demo? Let him soar through the air. Let him become the missile that he was born to be. Let him go through the air like, oh my god, I love doing that as demo, and they're taking that stuff away from him. Please let him go through the air. It happens on, I think it happens on like Thompson House as well. Oh, you could do it on like hills on like Coldwind Farm, or just any map that has like a little hill on it. It's just, yeah, let him do that. Let him fly off buildings. Come on, it's fun to do that. It really is. Okay, next one is Oni, and this one might be a bit of a hot take and might be a bit controversial. But if I had to change Oni, I would just get rid of his 180-degree flicks. It's honestly, going against an Oni that knows how to do that, it's so, in my opinion at least, it is a bit unfair. Because you go around a loop, he's charging at you, and then he just flicks, and then you're dead. That's it. You got nothing. You are dead. You're going to die if he knows how to flick like that. It's, pardon me, it is a bit uncounterable in my opinion, and I would just get rid of that. That's all I would do to Oni. Aside from that, I think Oni is a great killer. I think he's perfect, but just get rid of his 180-degree flicks. Now, for Deathslinger, again, this might be a hot take. I would give him his 24-meter terror radius back. I really would. I don't know why they made his terror radius 32 meters, but he's a ranged killer. He should have, like, a low terror radius. I don't care what people say. I don't know. I know people were complaining about him having a 24-meter terror radius and then him having like monitoring abuse and him being able to sneak up on people. But that's what I thought was special about Slinger. I liked stealth slingers a lot. I know his ADS got nerfed and that's fine. His ADS is okay. But man, bring back his small terror radius because that was cool. Or just give him a 28-meter terror radius instead. Just don't make his terror radius 32 meters, please. Okay, Pyramid Head, this is an easy one. Make survivors use their anti-tunnel perks or give them endurance when they are rescued from a cage. Pyramid Head is like the best tunneler in this entire game. He is so friggin' good at tunneling in this game and camping. And it's so infuriating when you get saved from a cage, you don't have endurance, and he just tunnels you down. I don't know if like perks like Decisive Strike work against Pyramid Head when you get rescued from a cage. If they do, by all means, please let me know in the comments because I'm not too sure. I don't like I don't know these things because I don't like going against Pyramid Head, and I don't run Decisive Strike. But if it doesn't activate, then yeah, make it activate when you get saved from a cage, and give survivors endurance when you get saved from a cage, because it would make Pyramid Head tunnel a bit less, in my opinion. It might not, but maybe it will. I don't know. But that's what I would change the Pyramid Head. Just give survivors endurance when they get saved from a cage. Okay, next up, we got Blight. There is so many things I want changing on this bloody killer, like his add-ons. But if I had to nail it down to one thing I would change about Blight, well, it would be, there were two things. There were two main things I want changing for Blight. And it's either make him 4.4, make him Huntress, Spirit, High, Deathslinger, movement speed, or make him lose all his rush tokens after he hits someone or after he destroys a pallet or a breakable wall. Either one of those two. If I had to choose which one though, I'd probably make his movement speed 4.4. I don't understand why he's 4.6 when he's got a power, well, he's like the second strongest killer in the game. But yeah, I'd just make him 4.4. If I had to choose between one of the two changes, it'd be make him 4.4. Now, twins is kind of tough. I had to think about this for a while. If I had to change one thing about twins, I don't know how you do it, but I would just make it so they don't like not incentivize to slug, really. I know twins are like a slug heavy killer, and slugging is kind of like the meta that killers are doing now. I don't know why, but I would just make it so they're not too like incentivized to slug. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I guess just give survivors unbreakable if the twin, I don't know. It's hard. It really is hard with twins. I can't think of anything else except for don't make them a slug heavy killer, and I don't know how you change that because I don't play twins that much. Trickster, this is an easy one. Revert him back to what he was before they made him 4.6. Give him his 4.4 movement speed back. Just revert him back to what he was. Trickster is like, in my opinion, the worst design killer in this game. I genuinely believe that Trickster is like the worst design killer in this game. He is so horrible to go against. I mean, he was horrible to go against, like, when he was 4.4, but he was a bit tolerable because he was slow. But now that they made him 4.6 and gave him a 32-meter terror radius, it's dreadful. It genuinely is dreadful. I don't think it would fix him that much if you reverted him back to 4.4, but it would make him a bit more tolerable to go against. But yeah, I think Trickster is just, like, so poorly designed. I think genuinely he needs a fat rework. I genuinely believe Trickster needs a fat rework. I don't know how you do it. Maybe some people can tell me in the comments, but yeah, just revert him back to 4.4. Please revert him back to what he was. Nemesis, I would just add one more zombie, or I'd just make the zombies more of a threat, because the zombies are, like, massively RNG. The zombies just, they either do nothing or they do something to turn the game around, and I don't know. I don't like that. I would just make the zombies more of a threat, or I'd just add a couple more zombies to the game. I know the devs have said that the game itself can't handle, like, more than 2 zombies, but again, just make the zombies more of a threat. Make them fast, or make them feel like, you know, a horde or something. Just do something to the zombies, because they don't do anything, or they do something, but you just have to be extremely lucky if they actually manage to do something. Pinhead, this is easy. Rework Engineer's Fang. Pinheads I go against, they never miss. They always spawn the chain, like, right on top of you, and they will just get you. And with Engineer's Fang, they're never going to miss, and they will always injure you with the chain. It's so infuriating. I do not like going against Pinhead at all. But when they run Engineer's Fang, they're even more of a nightmare to go against. So just rework Engineer's Fang to something else. I don't know what. Just please, it's awful. It really is. Now, Artist, I had to think about this one because I think Artist is in a pretty good spot. I know some people don't like going against that. I don't mind it. I think she's alright. And she's one of my favorite killers to play as in this game. But I recently remembered that the add-on, the green add-on Charcoal Stick exists. So for those of you who don't know, there's a green add-on that Artist has called Charcoal Stick. And what that add-on does is that when you place a bird down, survivors can see you place the bird down for like half a second. But when you launch the birds, they don't see the birds coming. It's such a bad add-on. It's her worst add-on in the game, and I would rework that add-on somehow. It just makes Artist so bad to play as, because survivors could just see you place the bird down from a distance, so they know that the bird is coming. It's so bad. So yeah, I would just rework Charcoal Stick to do something else. Just take away the fact that survivors can see you place the bird down, and just keep the fact that they can't see birds coming, like at afar. But yeah, it's so bad. Just rework Charcoal Stick. Just make it do something else, please. Now, Sadako. This is something I've wanted a while in this game. I think Reiko's Watch does do this, or it's Old Newspaper. I'm not sure. It's one of the 2 add-ons. But I would just make it so when Sadako manifests, she's invisible for like 3 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds. Just give her like that invisibility mind game, just so she can like, she has a little bit of chase power, because some Sadakos will just, you know, teleport to TVs, and if survivors are clever, then they'll just get tapes, so, and she doesn't have much in terms of like, you know, trying to condemn people. So I just give her that little bit of threat in chase. Just make her invisible for like 3 seconds while she's in chase. I don't know if I don't know if that's what Reiko's Watch and Old Newspaper does. And if it is, then fair enough. I just make her invisible for like 3 seconds when she manifests, because that would make her a bit more of a threat in chase. Dredge, this is easy. Locked lockers should not affect him during Nightfall. Nightfall is supposed to be a massive threat for Dredge, and the fact that you just get stopped by a locked locker in Nightfall, it feels bad. Sure, locked lockers can affect Dredge when he's not in Nightfall, but during Nightfall, they shouldn't affect Dredge. They really shouldn't. So yeah, just make it so locked lockers don't affect Dredge during Nightfall. It pains me that something like that, something so simple like that, can stop the Dredge when he's like unstoppable. So yeah, just that one little change is what I'd do to Dredge. Now, Wesker was a tough one. He was a pretty tough one to think about. I would just make Wesker, I'd just make the green egg add-on that he has partially base kit. I don't know if it is partially base kit or not. Like, you'll have to Tell me in the comments if it is or if it isn't. But if it's not partially base kit, then just make it partially base kit, because most Weskers I see run that add-on. So I just make that add-on partially base kit, like they did with leather gloves. Like, I'm pretty sure the recovery add-on that Wesker has is now partially base kit. But yeah, I just make the egg gold green add-on a bit base kit for Wesker, because most Wesker players run that add-on. Now, next up, we got Knight. Now, this one I had to think about, because I don't know if I wanted to change him for, like, the survivors or for the Knight itself, because Knight is a little bit of a nightmare to play as, and he's also a bit of a nightmare to play against. If there's one thing I would change to Knight, it would be make Call to Arms, that one yellow add-on he's got, make it partially base kit, because that's, like, his best add-on. And without it, it's just, you can't really, like, sneak up on survivors with the guards, and, it's so bad. Like, I know there are some people out there that play Knight, and they like to do, like, the multitask, and I've tried doing that as Knight. I'm currently going through a phase of playing Knight, and I like the whole multitasking aspect when you send a guard after one survivor and you chase another survivor. I like that a lot about Knight. I know some people don't do that as Knight, and they just drop a guard, like, 5 meters away from him, and they just, you know, chase the one survivor, and that can be a bit unfun. I don't know how you'd fix that. But if there's one, yeah, the one thing I would change is just make the yellow add-on Call to Arms partially base kit, because without it, Knight feels like arse to play. He really, really does. And speaking of killers that feel like arse to play, the Skull Merchant. I would just make her a stealth killer, really. I mean, from the way that the devs describe her and the way that she is in her bio, she's supposed to be like an apex predator. So why is she not like a full stealth killer? Why does she have to get haste? Why does she have to hinder survivors with drones? Just make her a full-on stealth killer. When survivors are detected by a drone, give them oblivious. Seriously, this is what I know. A lot of people hate Skull Merchants, and I never overly hated Skull Merchant like a lot of people did. I didn't like her. Like, I don't like Skull Merchant, but I never overly hated her like most people did. But seriously, I think Scully does have a bit of potential. I think she should just be a pure stealth killer. I don't know if Pixel Bush will agree with me on that, but yeah, Skull Merchant I think would benefit a lot if she was just a stealth killer. So yeah, come on. Make her a stealth killer. Next up, Singularity. I would just make it so when he's in overclock, well, when he's finished in overclock, his power has a bit of a cooldown, because it is so, like, a bit unfair. Well, not unfair, but it's so exhausting trying to loop a Singularity when all he does is he tags you with his camera, and then he just goes sploosh, overclock, sploosh, overclock, sploosh, overclock. It's so exhausting. He's such a relentless killer. I don't think this would nerf him too much, but I would make it so when he overclocks towards you and his overclock meter is done, he goes on cooldown for like, what, 7-8 seconds, something like that, and then he can overclock again on you. Like, I don't think that would nerf him too significantly, but it would make, you know, you could probably get a bit of breathing from Singularity. So that's what I change on Singularity. Okay, next up is Xenomorph. I would honestly just delete all his add-ons that affect turrets, but turrets themselves cannot be placed next to each other. It is so infuriating when you are playing as or going against Xenomorph. Like, when you're going against the Xenomorph and he's got those turret add-ons that make the turrets so bad, and the turrets just don't even do anything. That just feels bad going against a Xenomorph when they do that. But when you're playing as Xenomorph and survivors put turrets right next to each other, I know that's like the correct counterplay for Xeno, but it's just so frustrating. I would just make it so turrets can't be placed next to each other and just delete his turret add-ons. Just make his add-ons do something else, because his add-ons are just so pathetic. They are so bad, and the fact that his best add-ons are add-ons that affect turrets, it does not feel nice. So change the turrets, just change the turrets up, don't place them next to each other, and delete the add-ons. Okay, next up, Chucky. I know this is going to be a hot take because a lot of people did not like going against Chucky. I don't mind him, I never did mind him. Make him faster in Slice and Dice. Get rid of that duration, make him faster. Keep the cooldown, keep the 12-second cooldown, that's fine. But man, I hate the fact that they nerfed him so bad like that. I hated the fact that they gutted him like that. I really did not have that much of an issue with Chucky. Yeah, sure, I know some people didn't like him, and that's fine. But my God, they gutted him so badly. They gutted him. Oh, it feels bad. Man, it really does feel bad, because I enjoyed Chucky, I really did, and then they just gut him like that. I know you guys. I know some people out there really didn't like going against Chucky, and I know some people still to this day don't like going against Chucky, and that's fine. But I never had an issue with him. I think they should just get rid of like the extra duration, but make him like faster during Slice and Dice, please. Okay, next up, Unknown. Now, this killer is like one of the most well-designed killers in this game. I will even go as far to say that this killer is like the perfect Dead by Daylight killer. I fucking love the Unknown. He's so cool. If there's one change I'd make to the Unknown, make Blurry Photo fully base kit. Rework the add-on, just make it fully base kit. If for those who don't know, Blurry Photo is a brand add-on, so where the Unknown, when he teleports, he regains his normal movement speed back faster. I would just make that add-on fully base kit, because whenever I'm playing Unknown or I'm going against an Unknown, they are always running that one add-on. Just make it fully base kit. Just give us Blurry Photo fully base kit. It wouldn't make him too oppressive in chase. It wouldn't do anything bad to him. Just make it fully base kit. But aside from that, my God, love Unknown. One of the best killers they've came out with in a hot minute. Okay, next up, Vecna. If there's one thing I would change to Vecna, it would be something to do with the Hand of Vecna. I don't know if this is a thing, but when it comes to using the Hand of Vecna as a survivor, the lockers that it teleports you are completely random. I would just make it so that when you use it, it teleports you to the furthest locker away from Vecna, if it doesn't already do that. But when they use it, their aura should be revealed. Not Killer Instinct, just make it so that their aura is fully revealed to Vecna. Like, give them like 5 or 6 seconds of aura. I know people would use Distortion on that, but then again, Distortion got gutted. Like, I don't know who's running. I don't know anyone running Distortion nowadays. But yeah, I would just make it so when survivors use the Hand of Vecna, their aura is revealed to Vecna. But when when survivors use the Hand of Vecna, they're teleported to the furthest locker away, if that's not already a thing. I think it is random, but if it isn't random and it is the furthest locker away, then by all means let me know. Okay, next one, Dracula, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying this. Bat form should not be stronger than Spirit's phasing. It really shouldn't. I don't know why it bugs me too much. It really does bug me that Dracula is technically stronger than Spirit. He literally has 3 powers in one, and his bat form, the fact that he can just go over windows and drops pallets willy-nilly, oh my God, I don't know why it bothers me. I really don't know why it bothers me. But yeah, I don't think his bat form should be stronger than Spirit's phasing, in my opinion. Just do something to the bat form. I don't know. It just shouldn't be stronger than Spirit. And finally, we have the newest killer in the game, the Houndmaster. Now, I really enjoy going against Houndmaster. She's pretty cool to go against. Playing as her, I'm not really that much of a fan. If I had to pick one change I would make to the Houndmaster, I would make it so when you're in the search mode for the dog and you follow the trail, you know that haste you get for following the dog's trail? I would make that haste linger for like 3 or 4 seconds after coming out of the trail. I think there is. I don't know if there is an add-on that does that. If there is, then I just make it partially base kit. But if there isn't, then I would just make the haste linger when you come out of search mode. I don't know if the Houndmaster can do that, because I haven't played her in a hot minute, because she is currently bugged. If she can do that, then fair enough. I don't know what else to change for her. But if she can't, then yeah, just make the haste when the dog is in search mode linger when coming out of the trail. Okay, and that is going to wrap up the video for every change I would make to every killer in Dead by Daylight. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. It would mean a lot. And let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, and let me know any changes you would make to any of the killers in this game, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.